There is a golden rule amongst our conservatives, even more so golden than Ronald Reagan's "Thou shalt not attack a fellow conservative," or at least a fellow Republican, as the case may be in America. But here we have a different golden rule that all the conservatives abide by more than even Ronald Reagan's rule. Like, you've seen Trump trash that rule, and shall we say, once taken off the gold plating that it was, um, is now very much a bronze finish. It's wondering if that even is a gold-plated rule anymore. But no, this is a gold, solid iron, well, gold cast rule, chiseled in finest levium, whatever you may call it. And that rule is very simple. Never, ever, under any circumstances, embarrass the crown. And what does that mean? That means you should never, ever embarrass the Queen or the King, or, shall we say, in this case, the next in line for that crown. Because obviously the Tories being very heavily traditionalist, the thing is you don't embarrass the crown at all. It's not, shall we say, seen as a good indicator if you embarrass these these people. It's not seen as something you should probably do. But unfortunately, Rishi Sunak has not just embarrassed the crown, he has embarrassed the crown and humiliated the crown on a world stage. This is how bad it is. It is incredibly bad. So, before we get into this embarrassment and just how bad this actually went down, um, like I say, please do remember to click on the like, share, and subscribe button. And of course, down below, there are links to the Patreon page and a one-off link called Buy Me Coffee, where you can, well, buy me coffee. And of course, there's the YouTube thank you button, there's the Patreon page, there's the Pony Club down below as well. So, what did Rishi Sunak do? Well, it's not just what he went on to announce with his green policy U-turns, it is also the fact he did not turn up at a global summit, and more importantly, there was Prince William there at that global summit, presenting, being on panels with people like Bill Gates, saying how important it was for the UK to fulfill its green ambitions, its net zero policy. And of course, what did Rishi Sunak do right in the middle? And this is the key thing. Moments before Prince William went on stage to announce his Earthshot Prize, a charity which he funds and is in charge of, that promotes green businesses, green energy, all these green initiatives. What did Rishi Sunak announce moments before? Oh, that's right. The entire U-turn of the UK's green policies. And this is honestly going to play, I think, very, very badly for him. This isn't going to go down well in conservative circles. So what actually happened? What was the play-by-play? Well, this is what happened according to this. So as world leaders gathered at the UN Climate Summit in New York last Tuesday, the topic was sparking a very lively discussion, and that was, why was Rishi Sunak a no-show? There were a lot of people asking why he hadn't come. And one British source who attended said that most of the other world leaders were there. However, the UK was represented by Prince William, who was there to announce the winners of his Earthshot Prize, his environmental charity. While the Prince was on stage at lunchtime, US time, with the likes of Bill Gates and, of course, former Mayor Mike Bloomberg, discussing the importance of combating Combating the global warming crisis, diplomats and officials were suddenly distracted by news alerts on their phones. The BBC had just leaked details of how Britain's Prime Minister was about to U turn on several key climate change commitments. And the story made waves not just in the UK, but across the Atlantic. The reaction amongst environmentalists, government officials, and others in the UN was it was inevitably scornful. And one person who was a British source was asked, "Which one are you? Are you with the Prince promoting his Earth shot, or your PM thumbing his nose at us?" Slowly, it became very clear why Sunak had decided to stay well away. And that's what's just happened. Bear this in mind. Not only has Rishi Sunak completely embarrassed the crown and royalty by sending, because he would have had to for Prince William to go there, Rishi Sunak would have had to give his blessing and say, "Oh yes, go on there." So Rishi Sunak would have known full well by that point that he was probably going to make these announcements. And not only that, but as you can tell there, by the reaction was, are you with, the prince who's promoting the Earthshot stuff and all this stuff? Or are you with the prime minister who is thumbing his nose at us? Imagine that for a second, that you have someone who's like probably a foreign diplomat asking you this serious question. Are you with the prime minister who is not here thumbing his nose at us? Because 2 years ago, we hosted COP26, where Boris Johnson was out there saying how important it was for the UK, and the UK was going to be a world leader in these green climate change initiatives. And I've said this, and I will always say this. Look, if the Conservatives actually do something good, we should praise them, because congratulations, you've done something good. A broken clock can be right twice a day. But if they actually had gone on to really invest in net zero and actually have a plan of how to achieve it and achieve this green economy, okay, great. Thanks, guys. You've proved you can actually do something. Congratulations. Now, how about all that rest of the stuff? um, but of course, what's happened? They have not done that. They have actively argued, even since then, against net zero, undermining the very path to achieving that continuously, time and time again. And to be honest, the more you look at it, not just here in the UK, but around the world, not only has our international reputation been damaged in the case of Brexit, for the UK agreeing to sort of follow international treaties and regards, but also now, when it comes to things like the climate and things like that, we are going to be left on the sidelines, because Rishi Sunak has made it very clear that the UK will not follow its climate commitments. So the next time one of these big UN meetings happens or anything like that, we probably might be asked to go, but we ain't going to be taking a leading role in it or anything like that. So once again, so much for global Britain. But I will tell you now, there's lots of talk from we've had a big Conservative donor come out and say, I'm not supporting the Conservatives with Rishi Sunak. If they are not going to support these green initiatives, I ain't supporting them. That could cause big waves as well. You've had a number of Conservatives come out and criticize harshly Rishi Sunak over the weekend over this, whether this will continue to build up, and even if this will end up in a U-turn itself. Who knows? We're also now, unfortunately, hearing rumors that HS2, going to be axed, that the northern leg from Birmingham up to Manchester can be axed. That is incredibly bad news, because that is going to have huge, massive economic consequences to the UK, especially when we have so much needed infrastructure that would be able to deliver. This is short-termism. It is jam today politics. This is what they are caught in. They are caught in a blind panic, and this is how they are acting. And the quicker we can remove them, the better it will be for the UK. So as always, thank you very much for watching. And of course, as always, we'll see you all next time.